Hello and welcome, or welcome back to a Chip Off the Old Block Toys. I'm Jeff. Today we're going to continue building the Adventures in Transylvania castle. It is set number 910049. It's just not any Lego set. It is actually part of the Bricklink Designer Series 5. And there's 5 sets in each one of these series, so this is the 25th set. However, that's kind of deceiving because Lego, they did a few of these, and they did not call them, they called them something different, but it's the same thing as from Bricklink. All right, let's go ahead. We're on bag 38 out of 48, so we've got about 10 bags left. I know I was hoping to finish it today, but there is just no way that I'm going to be able to get that many bags done in that amount of time. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to continue building this. And I've got pieces laid out, so let's go ahead. I hope everyone's having a great morning. My morning's okay, but I'm going to tell you, yesterday, oh my gosh. So I streamed again last night. And during that stream, all hell broke loose. All right, here we go. There, we got this guy here. And let's see. So last night, here's what happened. I was streaming. And in the middle of the stream, I was working on rendering a video because it was going to take a little bit. And I figured, okay, I might as well do it while I'm streaming, save time, kill 2 birds, 1 stone. Well, when I was done with my stream, I was fully expecting the video to be completely done and rendered and done and saved and all that good stuff, And I looked over at it, and I had a blue screen. I know how to fix computers. So does my son. And that computer will not reboot. It starts to reboot, but will not finish. And we checked the error codes, and it says basically gives the whole rundown list of what you can do to try to remedy it. We tried every single one of them. The computer's not responsive. It only goes to that same point where you boot it up and you get another blue screen. Boot it up, get another blue screen. And you can get into the BIOS, if you guys know what that is, but you can't change anything. It won't, it's screwed. And so after running through all the things, it says, well, as a last resort, you could just wipe the hard drive and start all over. Well, my computer won't even let me get into that. So that desktop is, well, for lack of a better word, it's toast. It's gone. And that desktop, I'm not too tore up about it being gone. I mean, I don't want to spend the money, but the desktop is 4 years old, and I wasn't really happy with it to begin with because I bought it as a gaming laptop, and it was really supposed to be fast for rendering videos and that kind of stuff. But about 4 days after I bought it, or no, it wasn't 4 days, because I bought it from Best Buy, and they have a 14-day return window for electronics. And I think we were 2 days outside that window. So it was like 16 days. And the damn thing broke. And I talked to Best Buy about returning it, and they wouldn't. And so I ended up doing the only thing I could do, and that was having them fix it underneath warranty, which they kind of did, but it never, it's always had problems. And so I've been dealing with those problems off and on with that computer ever since I bought it 4 years ago. So sometimes it didn't want to boot, and sometimes it would give me the blue screen, just like what I got the other day. So not too impressed with that machine. And after 4 years of headaches, I think I'm just good. I think I'm good. And I think I'm glad that it finally broke. And the other thing too is that, I've shared with you guys my spiritual beliefs, and, I have been praying and stuff and asking God for help because, you know, the government shut down. My wife's not, you know, she's a government employee, a federal employee, and they're holding up my last check, which includes my vacation payout, which I had almost 2 weeks. So it's almost a full check, just the vacation alone. And they're holding that because they don't have the funds to pay it. And so money's been really tight. So I've been praying, and my my Bricklink sales have taken off. And so I've been very careful with that money because, you know, I mean, that's the only money we have coming in right now for the whole household is just my Bricklink. And so I've actually paid several bills with my Bricklink checking account, which has been a great blessing. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you what happened. And the cool thing is that here lately, I've actually had money left over after paying bills, such to the point that I kid you not, when I went online to find me a new desktop computer last night, I ended up finding a computer that had the specs that I wanted, had the speed, everything, you know, the RAM, had everything I wanted. And I kid you not, almost down to the penny is what I had in my account. And so I can be mad that it happened, or I can choose to be grateful that my Bricklink sales have been what they've been, and that I was able to buy another one without having to put on a credit card and pay for it later. And I'm going to choose to be grateful that things worked out ever so gently like it did. And I'm very happy with it. It could have gone a million different ways, and it didn't. So I'm just going to choose to be happy about it. And thanks to Amazon and their next day stuff, I should have said computer here by 3 o'clock. So I'm not going to skip a beat. I actually shot another video last night. And so I did the speed build of the popcorn wagon, which is another one of the sets in this Bricklink Designer Series 5 series. Yeah, kind of feels weird to say that. But anyway, that's I'll be able to edit that as soon as that computer comes in. And I will be able to take care of all that and just not skip a beat. Keep my video production going. So I'm very happy about that. I mean, it's kind of unfortunate that it broke, but on the other hand, like I said, it could have been different. It could have broken, and I could have been in a position where I couldn't replace it, and then I'd really be up a creek. Because this laptop of mine, I tried to last night. I tried to take that video that I started filming last night, and I tried editing it on my laptop, and my laptop just can't do it. And I don't know if you guys know, if you remember, it's probably been, I know it's been over a month. It might have been even 2 or 3 months ago. I was late to my own, live stream, because this laptop that I'm using right here, right now, it broke. And it would not, I couldn't get it to boot. And my desktop doesn't have a camera on it. So I can't, well, it does, but I don't have a table. It's just on a really small desk, so I can't build on it. And I had to pull an old laptop I had out of the closet and had to boot it up real quick, and it struggled to do the live stream, but I got that live stream done. And meanwhile, it took a couple days, but my son popped open the laptop and took a look at it, and he was able to figure out what was wrong with it and got this one fixed. And this one just broke like 2 months ago. So, and then now my desktop broke. So, not good times. But the fact that the money was there just in time to replace this desktop is definitely a blessing, in my opinion. So, anyway, again, I'm not trying to preach at you. Just want to tell you I'm grateful that things worked out the way they did. because it could have been different. All right. All right, we just got done with bag 38, and we did all this little wall work up here. And so, let's move this over a little bit. Yeah, this little piece here, and we did this right here. So we're going to move on to bag, is that 39? Yes, it is. And I'm going to try to slide this out of the way because we're building a this piece right here. And so it's all one piece that just goes on top. So I won't be needing this for a second. How's everyone's day going, man? I don't want this to all be all about me. I mean, I got stuff I could talk about, but I'd love to hear how you guys are doing. How's your day going? No, I didn't call you a dago. I said, how's your day going? I kind of, excuse me. I'm looking forward to finishing this right here because my next videos I'm going to be doing, we're going to work on a different Bricklink Designer Series 5 set. We're going to be doing, you guys might know it. It's called the Thieves of Tortuga. And I don't know if I'm saying that right because I don't even know what Tortuga is. And it might be a made-up thing, or it might be coming from a story I don't know about. But anyway, I have it right here. Let me show you. Next in the lineup is this guy right here. We'll be building this guy. It's one of the Bricklink Designer Series, like I said, and it's like it's kind of like a hideout for pirates. Is the best way I could describe it. And I think it looks just freaking awesome. And I'm very happy about it. I'm happy to have a copy of it. So anyway, that will be the builds that we do next. Is that right there. So buckle up, guys. We're gonna do that one, guys and gals. And we are almost at a week of no Mrs. Chip. Mrs. Chip is out with her army buddies playing in the desert. And so they will be, I don't know when they'll be back. It's one of those things like this. They were told that if they go out there and do what needs to be done, they can be done in as little as 2 weeks. And they were told, hey, if you goof around, we're still going to get it done. It's just going to take longer, and we'll be out there till it's done. So hopefully they'll not mess around and get their stuffage together, and she'll be home. Hey, Will, how you doing? How's your day, my friend? I don't know if you saw the Thieves of Tortuga that I just pulled out, but that will be our next set of live streams. Will be that one. And also I'll do a review on it too. And I'll also do a speed build video, time lapse. But so I was talking, this next part is kind of funny, but I was talking to a friend yesterday. He's former military. A lot of my friends are, by the way. And he, I don't even remember what we were talking about because what he said was so funny. That's all I remember. My day's going great. I'm just sitting here organized. Awesome. Awesome. I did some of that last night as well. I just remember what he said. I don't remember what we were talking about anymore. But my friend was telling me about something that was going on at his workplace, and it was an absurd idea that they were having him do. And he said his response to it was, he says, it's kind of like trying to fit 10 pounds of shit into a 5-pound bag. And I had never heard that expression before. And so, of course, I thought it was extremely funny. And I asked him, I said, well, where'd you hear that from? By the way, we're on bag 40. I asked him, I said, where'd you get that from? And he says, oh, it's just something we used to say in the Navy. Well, my dad's he retired from the Navy. So I called up my dad this morning right before the stream, and I said, hey, Dad, you ever heard this expression? Because my friend said he heard it. They used to say it in the Navy all the time. And my dad said, he goes, it's not something that comes from the Navy. He says it was actually something that somebody said one time referring to Dolly Parton's large chest. And I don't know. I haven't looked it up to verify all that. But, oh, my gosh, that expression had me in stitches. I've never heard that before. I mean, god dang. Yeah. Well, this guy right here, this is going to be our next set of live streams when this one's done. We're going to build this Thieves of Tortuga, which is the pirate hideout. And it kind of looked like it has a Spanish tile feel on the top there, which I grew up in California, and believe it or not, California used to be part of Mexico, which was actually part of Spain, the Spanish Empire, and a lot of homes. There's not like all of them, but there are a lot of homes in California that have that Spanish tile on the top, and it's a very unique look. I love it, and so I'm glad they incorporated that into the build, and it's kind of nostalgic for me in a way because, like I said, I grew up with the people directly across the street from us. They had the Spanish tiles on their home. And they also had a bunch of roosters. And, I know some people are going to consider this racist, but I'm going to say it anyway because you'll understand. I once, those people across the street from my parents' house that had the Spanish tiles on the roof, they were Hispanic, and I don't remember, and I hate calling them just Hispanic because I've been around enough Hispanic people to know they're proud of their heritage, and they don't like the generic term that people usually use and call them, oh, they're Mexican. They're not. They're Peruvian. They're Bolivian. They're Colombian. They really do care. And so I try to be respectful of that. So, but I don't remember what their nationality was, but they were Hispanic, and they had roosters, and they were not supposed to have roosters, not in the city, but they did. And those things crowed all the time. And I remember the guy ran a successful construction business, and his name was Raul, and he was a funny guy. And I was over there one day helping him. He was paying me to help him unload a trailer, and I was in my teens. And I just asked him, I said, and I wasn't being mean. I just asked him, I said, why do you have roosters, man? I said, they're loud, they're dirty, they're whatever. And I swear he said this to me. He said, I keep the roosters in the yard to teach my kids how to walk. And oh my gosh, I died laughing because it was like, really? And then I thought about the way... Anyway, I'm not going to finish that because some people are going to be offended by that. But, yeah. And what's really funny is people don't get it. I hear people when I used to live in California, I used to go back to their country. And it's like, really? This used to be their country. You know that until 1850. In 1850, the Spanish-American War is how we got California in the United States. So, technically, they're kind of, well, technically they are in their country. It just, the country changed hands. So, and to this day, if I remember right, California has about a third Hispanic population. So, yeah, it's kind of funny when I hear people say ignorant things like, they should go back to their country. It's like, well, no, they kind of are in their country. If you think about it. I mean, why do you think the cities are named things like Los Angeles, the Angels, or, Santa Clara, Well, yeah, Saint Clara. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's a Hispanic name. And also, don't forget that California has the Spanish missions that were meant to be able to travel, um, help them travel up the coast, and they were supposed to be spaced out as a 1 day walk in between each one. And if you've never seen the Spanish missions, they are absolutely beautiful. San Juan Bautista, I've been to that one. That mission, I've been to the Santa Clara mission, and I've been to the San Francisco one. There's way more than that. I don't remember how many there are, but when I lived in California, I visited a couple different ones. So anyway, beautiful, beautiful area. I don't miss California, what it's become, but I do miss my childhood memories from there. That's for sure. One thing I want to do before I pass away, which I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, but I definitely want to go back to San Francisco area and visit. I mean, I've already been to Fisherman's Wharf. I've already been to Alcatraz. I've already been to Treasure Island, all that stuff. But I would just love to do that again. And maybe I'll fit a couple of those missions in there too. What are some places that you guys want to visit before you kick the bucket? What's on your bucket list, as they say? I would like to do a tour of Europe, mainly England, actually, because I've only been to London and I wasn't there very long. So I think I was there for a couple hours because I had an extremely long layover at the London airport. And it was so long, it was like almost all day. It was basically, my dad had a heart attack when we were living in Germany, and I couldn't afford to bring everyone back. It was just me, and it was a last minute ticket. And so I got the crappiest ticket in the world with a huge layover in London, but it was, I'd hate to say it, but only $800. Now, if you've ever traveled to Europe and back, you know that an $800 ticket is not that expensive. I don't care. Leave the country. I'm more about people than place. Okay. And hello, Super Doom King. Hello, chaps. Well, how are you doing today, sir? Yeah, you know, I'll tell you one thing I really do like, and I really mean this. I like other cooking. I love going to other countries and like just sampling the food. I also do like music as well. So if a country has good, I don't want to call it folk music, but you know what I mean. They're local music, the local taste, you know, the origination from that area. All right, so we got to place this cap right here. And for some reason, there it goes. All right, I was going to say for some reason it ain't going on, but it is going on. It's got it going on. When you don't have 800, that's a lot of money. You know, it is, but usually plane tickets to Germany are over $1,000. So, oh, I did not do that right. Let's do that right then. How you doing, Yeti? How's your morning going? And if you guys missed it, during the live stream last night, Yeti, my desktop decided to take a dump on me. And I've run every diagnostic tool on it, and it just won't boot. It's dead. It's gone. So the show must go on, though. So I bought another desktop, and it's supposed to be here today. And just because I do care about this, and Yeti, I know you care about this too. There's a hidden silver lining to all this story about losing my laptop and having it break yesterday. You know, I'm not going to lie to you guys, and I've been very transparent about the government shutdown and its effect on my family, and how it's, you know, my wife's a federal employee and I'm a former federal employee who's waiting on his last paycheck and can't get it because the government shut down. And that last paycheck is also supposed to include my vacation payout. So it is a hefty paycheck and I could really use it, but the government shutdown is preventing me from getting it. So things have been really tight. The only income I've had is my Bricklink. And at first that wasn't going very well. But I've been doing a lot of praying and asking God to bless me with orders, and orders have come in, sometimes literally the day before a bill is due. And so I've been able to keep up on my bills because of the Bricklink orders increase that come up, which I'm surprised, because you got to remember the government shutdown is affecting a lot of people too, other people too. And so the fact that Bricklink orders have increased instead of slowed down during a time like this is an absolute blessing. And anyway, I've been paying my bills just fine, and that's the only income we've had is the Bricklink orders. And I'm happy to tell you that not only have I been able to keep up with my bills, but I started to accumulate a little bit of surplus there in my checking account, my business checking account. So when my desktop took a dump on me last night, at first I was like, oh, dang, I don't know how I'm going to pay for this. But I went looking on Amazon, or not just Amazon. I did a Google search in general, and I was asking, hey, what's the best type of computer for editing videos? And it recommended a gaming desktop. So I went and picked a gaming desktop, the best one I could find for my money, and it came out almost to the dollar of what I have left in my account. So I ordered it, and it's supposed to be here today. So I will have a brand new desktop today. So, yeah. If I left the country, it would be Germany for the Lego factory or Denmark for the Lego. Okay. Well, I have been to Germany, and I will tell you, Will, you will not be disappointed. The Germans, especially if you go during Oktoberfest, which is just ended, but Oktoberfest is during October. Usually it is. And they go all out. They'll put carnival rides in the city center, lots of local beers. Oh, they love their pastries. Oh man, Germans love their pastry and breads. And the German people are very blunt, and I love it. I love it. They have no problems telling you how they feel, which is not a bad thing. I actually really enjoy it because you always know where you stand with the German. They don't play these games of being nice to your face, and then as soon as you walk away, they backstab you. Oh, no. If they like you, you'll know it. And if they don't like you, you'll know it. You're lucky. I need a new computer bad. I'm hoping I can get another next year, or otherwise I'm done with YouTube live streaming. If I don't get a new one, that's what I'm hoping I can get fixed. Well, I actually wish that we lived closer to you, Yeti, because my son is better at it. He can fix computers pretty well. I'm decent at it. I've actually built a couple of my own machines back in the day. It's been over 10 years, and things have changed, but a lot of the same skills that I used for that still apply. So I wished I was there to take a look at it and tell you what to do about it. Because it's usually cheaper to fix them. Well, not always, because sometimes they're just done. But if it was a fix that was inexpensive, I'd be able to tell you just after about maybe 10 or 15 minutes looking at it max. if I don't get a new computer by the beginning of next year or get this one fixed, I'm really done with YouTube. I'll never live stream again. And never leaving the country because of what's going on outside the country right now. Well, right now, yes. But if you ever get the chance to go to Germany or France even, France is, oh man, France is pretty wild. We went to, my wife was part of the military color guard while we lived in Germany. And we went there to a small town there. And it was on the what do you call it? The anniversary of them being liberated from Germany. And they had a ceremony to mark that occasion, and my wife was in the color guard, so the Army paid for our gas to drive there. Well, Paris was only like less than an hour away from that town, so we let the Army pay for our gas, did the ceremony. My wife did the ceremony, not me. Did part of the ceremony, and then we took off and afterwards, and we went to Paris. So we had a great time. And the French are pretty blunt too, just like the Germans. They don't give a damn. If they're thinking it, they'll tell you. So, and I remember walking the streets of Paris, and yeah, okay, I'll tell you this story. So I was walking with my wife in I don't know if it was downtown Paris, but it was Paris, and there was a bunch of shops and stuff, and this lady comes up and she just tells me right in front of my wife, she's like, "You're pretty hot." I was 32, now I'm 50, so this is 18 years ago. Pretty sure they wouldn't tell me I'm hot now, but anyway, I was like, "Well, thank you, I think," and I didn't know what to say because my wife's right there, and well, even if my wife wasn't there, I'm not going to entertain it. So I was just like, "Thank you, I think," and she just says to me, "You must be an American," and of course, I'm speaking English. Right? But I wanted to know, so I said, "How can you tell?" She goes, "I could tell before I even walked up to you, you were American." I said, "Okay, how?" And she goes, "You Americans always wear sneakers. And you see here in France, we don't wear sneakers. We wear stylish shoes." And, to her credit, I actually started looking, and it's true. Like the French don't really wear sneakers. They wear fashionable shoes. And so anyways, I guess wearing sneakers in France is a dead giveaway. You're an American. My sister-in-law was from Germany. Okay. Exactly. Our own country is messed up enough. I really don't need to experience all the crap. Oh, yeah, that's true too. Especially London. I've heard that London is extremely dangerous. And I haven't been to London since 2008. So my experience with London is kind of outdated. Oh man, I do not like this. I think I'm going to remove this and just drop it down in there. There we go. That works way better. All right, so we have the chandelier sort of installed, and we're on to bag 42. I'm not hosting live streams off of cell phone. I do paying. Oh yeah, not paying $40 a month for StreamYard. Yeah, StreamYard can be quite expensive. Well, Yeti. We should talk offline because I might have a solution for you. Okay. Let's continue the build. Let's continue the madness. All right. So yesterday, or I should say last night, and it was so cold in this house because it got down in the 20s. And you see here lately, it's been getting up to the 50s during the day, maybe even 60. So even though the nights got cold, the house was still kind of warm, but not last night. Last night it was so cold. And in honor of how cold it was, I've got a couple jokes for us as I was taking a look at that. So let's get to my jokes. I Googled some cold jokes. So, oh, no, don't do that. My computer is being very, oh my gosh, stop it. My computer's being so temperamental right now. Jeez. Okay. Here are some jokes that I got. Oh, wait a minute. Yeti, I got one for you. Oh, damn. This one's bad. Oh, all right. So, what is a race that starts with the letter N and ends with R and it has 6 letters to it? I guarantee it's not what you're thinking. It's NASCAR. So that has nothing to do with the cold, but I thought I'd tell you that one. All right, let me catch up on comments here. I've already been there. I've done that. I wasn't too impressed with Friends, but Germany was awesome. I prefer Ireland, taking back to Scotland or Rome. You know, that is somewhere I have not been. I've not been to any of those places. Haven't been to Scotland, haven't been to Ireland, and have not been to Rome. I do want to see the Giant's Causeway. I think that's in Ireland. Or, no, that's Northern England. Anyway, I want to see the Giant's Causeway thing. I think that was pretty cool. Seen plenty of pictures of it, but I'd like to experience it for myself. Yeti says, from what I understand, I wouldn't want to go to France now because of certain group of people that are lying, saying they're oh, yeah. You know, I didn't even think about that. And in fact, I do have a heartbreaking story. My wife and I, we lived in BFV, not EV. And we used to always joke about that. It was Benjamin Franklin Village in Mannheim. That was the name of the base. The Germans were smart when they built their bases for World War II. And, well, of course, you know, when America took over part of Germany, we kept their bases. But the Germans did their bases differently than Americans. Americans do their bases all in one spot. In Mannheim, for instance, their base was spread among the city. The Army airfield was on the north side of the base, or the city. On the other part of the city, south, was the BFV village, and it was basically just housing. There was a couple of motor pools, but not too much military on that. And then it was a walking distance of about a mile was yet another base that had several motor pools and heavy armor. And then yet you had another base called Spinelli that was on the southeast side of the city. And I don't remember what they did there, but yeah, they had several like bases, small bases throughout the city. And that's just basically because you don't put all your eggs in one basket. But anyway, when we lived there, we lived in BFE, or V instead of E. And that base closed. We were the last people that were there. We were the last unit there. And it was kind of creepy because they started closing down the base all around us. But we were still there. Like the library used to be open 7 days a week or 6 days a week because it was closed Sundays. But they started closing it. And it was only open like 3 days. And same with the commissary and the PX. Like they just started closing it, and it was only open a couple days a week. And it actually kind of sucked. But the point of telling you all this is that after we left, the German government didn't know what to do with the base. So it sat for a couple years. And then they had an influx a few years later of immigrants, Syrian immigrants to be exact. And they opened up the base because it had nice housing, and kind of like apartment style housing. And the sad part about it is they were only there a few months, and the refugees were so ungrateful and such a-holes about the place that they had to end up demolishing the buildings because they ruined it. And that really pissed me off when I heard that, because I used to live there. And it was like, seriously, you guys get free housing? And I got to remember, I lived in that housing, so I know what it looked like. And a couple of the buildings, the building I was in was only remodeled a few years before we went in there. In fact, we were only the second tenants in that apartment, we were told, since it was remodeled. And they redid it, had hardwood floors, had its own laundry and its own unit, which most of the units did not have their own laundry. So anyway, it's just a really nice facility, and refugees are there just a couple months and they tore the hell out of it. They had to end up tearing it down after they let the refugees in there. And I'm sorry to say, you can call that racist if you want. I don't care. Some people will call it racist because, oh, you just don't like it. No, I just don't like people who are ungrateful when they get handed something nice and they turn it into crap. I mean, somebody's tax dollars went towards building that. And I'm sorry, but like, if somebody handed me, I guess the military kind of did hand it to our family, and it was nice. We took care of it when we lived there, and we lived there for almost 3 years in that apartment building. So it was only about 5 years old by the time we left. And I mean, if someone handed me a 5-year-old house and said, hey, it's yours, just take care of it. Hell, I would take care of it. You know how expensive housing is? I wouldn't go in there and just tear it up and be like, oh, they'll give me another one if I tear this one up. Let me go ahead and tear that up. I just thought that was very ungrateful of them to do that. So yeah, Europe has definitely seen an influx of their own immigration for other reasons. The Syrian conflict was one of them. I wonder how many Ukrainians have fled Ukraine since the conflict. I don't know. I don't know the numbers. But war is a very powerful one to move people from one place to another. It happens all the time. Okay, that's not what's supposed to happen. Let's do what's supposed to happen here. By the way, this turret I'm working on, it's very, very fragile. So I need to proceed with caution, because when I built it the first time, I smashed it during this next couple steps accidentally. So hopefully I do not repeat. According to conspiracy, 7/8 of the population will be dead in the next few years if stuff pops up. I'm packing up the Lego and heading for the mountains. Well, I'm already in the mountains, so if that happens, you're welcome to join me here. And I need to work my land a little bit better. Me and Spencer were talking about that yesterday before the computer broke. The guy kitty corner from me, he always sells a couple calves at the beginning in springtime when they, after a couple, I don't know how old they are, but when they're young. And I want to buy at least one this year. I've got the water rights, I've got the space. I'd like to at least have one calf. You know, kind of as an insurance policy, if you get what I mean. We have, oh, you have a place in the middle. Awesome. Awesome. It's nice living out in the middle of nowhere, ain't it? I'm with you on that one, Will. Note to self, when going to France, pack Crocs. Yeah. This is the problem. I don't want to push too hard on this because this is where I lost it last time. But you don't have a choice because the way that you slide these things in there, you kind of have to push down. You have to push down pretty hard. Okay, last one. I haven't broke it yet. Last one. Let's see. Can I make it without breaking it? Can I? Oh, success. I did not break it. All right, so you can see there's a lot more detail with these on here. We've got more to do. So let's slide over some more pieces and let's work on bag 43. Good afternoon, Ken. Sorry, I'm kind of behind on comments here. Oh, I'm really behind. 11 minutes. Sorry, Ken. How you doing? If I can't carry my pew-pew, I'm not going. Yeah, that's what I like about this place. I'm not trying to get into that discussion, but I will say people around this town, they carry. And far from feeling unsafe, I feel very safe. So, yeah. Good afternoon, Jeff. I'm sitting here watching your amazing live stream while waiting to clock in at 1:45. All right. Oh, man, I already missed you. Sorry, Ken. I really hope you watch this on the replay. I wasn't trying to ignore you. Just kind of got caught talking away. We should all chill after this stream. We can do that. Yeah, Yeti, send me a link and I will chill for as long as I can. And the reason why I know French are assholes is because I have French. Oh, gosh. Have you ever seen History of the World Part 1? During the French Revolution period. We don't have no food. We don't have no housing. All we have is this stupid language. Oh, that's the best. Oh, I put the wrong one in there. Let's fix that up. NASCAR. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. I was going to get to my cold jokes. Okay. So last night, it got so cold in my house that I had to reach over and grab my phone and turn on the furnace, turn up the furnace with my phone because I have a Nest thermostat, so I can do that. I literally woke up shivering. It was so cold in my house. So anyway, yeah, the thermostat is not working the way it should. It keeps thinking that I am not home. And when it does that, it turns the furnace way down. And it's not supposed to do that. I've tried to play with the settings. It's just being a little dumb. I was going to say another word that gave me in trouble, but I just corrected myself. So anyway, I woke up shivering in my house. That's the background of why I looked up these sort of jokes, because it was very appropriate for how cold it was. So getting to the cold jokes. And here we go. And this one is definitely true in my case. God rest her soul. It's colder than a mother-in-law's kiss. Which I wouldn't know because my mother-in-law never even tried to kiss me, not even on the cheek. So I wouldn't know. But it's so cold that my plumber pulled up his pants all the way. And this kind of cold will freeze off the hinges to the gates of hell. And then it's so cold, my chickens are lining up to get in the oven. It's colder than a room full of ex-wives at a wedding. All right, we got to put these turrets on, or these pieces here. I have more of those jokes. Just give me a minute. Okay. Yet another one is this kind of cold will freeze the balls off of a pool table. Oh, shoot. Where did that come from? It's not good when you knock pieces over and you don't know where it came from. Oh, I'm scared of this because these turrets broke twice when I was putting it on the first time, and I am right at the step where it broke the second time. So, success, sort of. I got one more to do. And this is hard because you have to push really, really hard to get this in. Don't get me wrong. I love this build. This build is absolutely gorgeous, but it is also extremely fragile. Okay. This is probably my favorite one out of all these jokes, and that is, it's so cold that my thermostat gave me the middle finger. And this kind of cold is meaner than a skillet full of rattlesnakes. And the last one is, it's cold enough to freeze the balls off of a brass monkey. So those are my jokes for how cold it is right now, or it was, because I think we're in the 40s now and the sun's come up. Okay, Hoarder says, I don't think people are ever really racist, more like culturists, because anyone can be good, certain ways of life, just BS. Okay, you know what? I can dig that, because you know, there are certain people of my race that I find to be I find their lifestyle to be questionable, and I don't agree with it. And it is a mindset of a certain class of people. I'm not going to get into it too much because I don't want to offend anybody. But yeah, I totally get that. So yeah, I can say that. And joke, Jeff, you joke, but if it goes sideways, I might end up on your doorstep. Honestly, dude, I got 3 acres, and the guy next door to me, he's got 10, and the guy across the street's got, I think, 6. We're pretty spread out here, dude. We got room. The main thing I like about this place is that people do watch out for each other. That's a really good trait to have. All right, let's put these 2 decorations on here. Oh, I see. They go in the front here. Wow. Again, I love the decorations on this. This is just awesome. Cajun, I was taught there's only one race, and it's the human race, and then we have so many different cultures in the human race. So how the hell can you be racist against your own kind? Well, I have seen people racist against their own kind. I actually have seen that. But I know what you meant, and I don't want to take away from what you were meaning there. But people can be a little funny and a little weird, so we'll just leave it there. Well, in all honesty, too, if you're a true believer of God, there shouldn't be any racism because we're all part of the same family, right? So I get what you're saying. And honestly, that's one thing that I really don't like about us, the politicians that we have. They're always trying to divide us by coming up with all these new categories of how we're all different. But here's the thing. We all poop the same. We all have to do laundry. We all have to earn a living. I mean, we all have the same struggles. So I don't care how different you are. We actually have more in common than we don't have in common. So why can't we focus on that? Parenting's hard. We all know that. If you're a parent, you know that parenting's hard. So why are we focusing on our differences? Why aren't we talking about, and I don't mean this group in particular, I mean, in general, why aren't we focused on the things we have in common, the struggles? So I just have a problem with the politicians trying to use our differences to divide us rather than using what we have in common to unite us. And hello, is it JJK? And I don't know how to pronounce all that, so I was just going to call you JK if it's okay. How are you doing? Oh, History of the World Part 2 is the one where they roll a huge joint and light it. Yeah, that's actually number 1. And that's when they're being, they free the slave guy and they're running in the chariot and the Romans are getting close and Josephus, the free slave, says, wait a minute, let's roll some Roman red. And they stop and they get that big old piece of paper and they lick that joint together and let it light it. And the Romans behind them are like, they stop and because the Roman red is so good. And he's like, do you think the empire will fall? And there's 2 soldiers talking to each other. And they're high. And he says, do you think the empire will fall? And the other soldier's like, fuck the empire. Excuse my language, but that's what he said. And it was funny. I love that movie. Oh my gosh. She talked to the headmaster of the Empress Nympho, appropriately named. She says, does this man have any holes do I have any holes this man can fill? Anyway, that was a good one. Oh, hey, how you doing, Rex? The Californian is identical to the human being in all ways but one, where human beings have a heart, second. Oh, glad I have a dumb thermostat. Yeah, sometimes it ain't worth it. I'll tell you that. They're great when they work, but when they don't, they don't. And my thermostat's only about 4 years old, so it shouldn't be broken, but it is broken. And I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. Sometimes it'll work just fine. And then things like last night where it just thinks that I'm not home, even though my phone is on. It's on silent, but it's on. And it should know that I'm there. It acts like I'm not. And it freezes the damn place. So anyway, sorry. Didn't mean to swear, but it is very annoying to wake up shivering. Brass monkey being a stack of cannonballs. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Thanks for that. Greg, how you doing? You going to recreate scenes from Dracula Dead and loving it? I mean, I could. I don't know how to do the blood sucking part, so I'm going to have to figure out how to get some red tiles together and make it look like blood. Actually, I already have an idea. Anyway, sorry, that was a morbid thought. But morbid's what we do around here. When you need a blood transfusion in the hospital, they don't look at your age. They don't look at your race. Look at your blood. That's correct. They don't. And, you know, that's the beauty of it. We are the same. In fact, I don't remember the numbers. Maybe you guys know the numbers better than I do. But isn't that what they talk about in like our DNA is like something like 98% the same, no matter what race you are. It's only like the last little bit that makes us different. So, like I said, we have more in common than we don't have in common. So, I'd like us to focus on that. But politicians won't, because they can control us a lot better when we're divided and hating each other. Which is why it becomes important for us to be mature and not to hate somebody just because a politician tries to get us to hate each other. Because honestly, at the end of the day, when I see someone broke down on the side of the road and I decide to help them, I don't run up to them and go, "Hey, are you a Democrat or a Republican?" I don't do that. What I see is somebody who's in need, and it's like, okay, what do you need to get back on the road? Oh, you need me to get you some gas? Okay, well, I'll get you a couple gallons. You know, that's what I care about. I don't care. Don't even ask what political leaning they are. I don't care. And I wouldn't decide not to help somebody if they're like, "Oh, well, I'm a liberal." You know, I wouldn't be like, "Oh, sorry about your luck." Hell no, that's rude. Okay. Well, let's see. Oh, there, that's why. This thing did not want to work at first. Okay. Oh, you guys can't see this. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, you can. Yeah, we're working on this right here. Okay, so we need 2 more of these large. Okay. Live in the ghetto, you'll learn the hard way that people are not similar, and just because you have honor and doesn't mean they're common element. That's true. I mean, that is true. But I guess I meant our struggles in life are similar. Meaning, you know, if you're a parent, then you have the responsibility of raising a kid, and you're going to have the same problems. You know, when they turn teenagers, they think they know better than you. You know, you just have the same issues. Like I never liked my kids' school system. In fact, I took my kids out of regular school and I put them into a charter school, which the charter school that I put my kids into had the second highest test scores in the whole entire state of Ohio. So it was a good move for my kids because they were struggling in public schools, and all of a sudden we put them in those schools, and my kids started flourishing. But yeah, you have those kind of problems. If you have kids, you know, the school systems can be a problem. Having bullies can be a problem. There's a lot of struggles, you know, like right now, a lot of us are struggling to pay rent and to get food. So those kind of struggles don't change. It's kind of the same. All right. But you're right, though. No honor among thieves, I think is what you're trying to say, which that I can agree with, too. Some people will just stab you in the back just to stab you in the back. They don't have to have a reason. And it's unfortunate. They were stoned out of their minds, yes. From now on, before I change a tire, I'm going to ask Well, I'm glad I could provide some humor there. But no, seriously, I mean, you don't ask those sort of questions. You just see someone in need and you help them, you know? So it really bothers me that, you know, we're just so, it's been such to the point that we're so divided. Okay. I'm thinking about pulling the 8-year-old out of school and homeschooling her. My sister homeschools her son, and he's now 12. And it is amazing how much time gets wasted in public schools. They sit there, and I think they only do school like 3 hours a day. And he is way past his peers in local school. Like, they've covered so much material because you don't have the constant interruptions. You don't have the behavioral problems. And because it's just one child getting instruction, you go at their pace. So if they're not getting it, you know right away, and you're able to change tactics. My sister loves homeschooling her son. So I don't know. I mean, if you can swing it, man. We're getting in my opinion, we're getting into the fun part of this build, because what we're doing right now is we've done all the basics. We've done, the shell, the building, the insides, all that. And now we're adding the kind of the final detail to it. And I think this is really beautiful, this part. So, hey, Cliff, how you doing? Yeah, that's why I don't depend on government, even for my check. I still don't depend on them. Yeah, I try not to. That's why, even though the government shutdowns happen, that's why, between Bricklink and savings, we've been able to still manage. So, and I should have, in a way, I should have seen this coming. And because, my wife, I was a federal employee up until the end of September. So, and my wife is a federal employee. So, yeah, should have seen something like this coming. People are just so stupid nowadays. I don't even want her having to compete with idiots. If she's homeschooled better, she'll have a better chance. Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. Like I said, I really hope you're able to swing that and do that. I know that on Facebook, because my sister, like I said, she homeschools. She's part of a group on Facebook of other homeschoolers, and what they do is they don't teach their kids together, but they'll do field trips together and special activities together. So, like, let's say, like my sister, who homeschools, she's really good at cooking, and she likes to do all kinds of crazy things with cooking, like, making cupcakes that look like sandals, and doing other cool decorating things with cakes and stuff. And so when they do the baking portion, because my sister specializes in it, sometimes some other kids that are homeschooled stop by her house, and she'll just do that one part, for them. And maybe it's just a one-day thing. I don't know that part, but, and then somebody else is good at like woodworking or something, and then they'll do a class over at that person's house. And so the kids get a variety, but for the most part, they're just by themselves being homeschooled, but they also get some more instruction that it's a little more fun. And, well, schools are wasting money. So, and talk about wasting money. Harriman, it's a city in Utah. I just read last night that they're coming under fire because they decided to build a greenhouse to teach the kids how to do stuff. I'm not against that. I'm not against them teaching kids how to grow food. I'm just against the fact that the greenhouse is not that big, and the district said the cheapest that they could build it is $700,000. Bullshit. Yeah. Must be nice to be able to waste tax dollars like that. It'd be awesome to have a piece of land, find a few like-minded families, and live like the Amish and start our own society. Sometimes I wished I could do that too. I mean, we are like-minded here, but not enough to do something like that. And that would be actually pretty cool. Because I mean, what if you guys specialize? Like, what if the guy next door he's got 10 acres and he's really good at raising cattle? Okay, so he raises the beef, and then maybe I'm good at like tomatoes, bell peppers, and that kind of stuff. And so that's what I specialize in. And a couple times a year we trade. You know, that would be awesome. No, I know it doesn't, because it was funny, because you know how news articles have places for comments in the bottom, and this guy got in the comments and he's like, I own a construction company and we built plenty of greenhouses, and he was like, a greenhouse that size, our company could build it for you and make a profit at $100,000. And the school system got on there below his comment like, well, we got several bids and that was the lowest bid, like trying to justify it. And it's like, there's no justification, dude. $700,000 for stinking, yeah, no, nuh-uh. Yeah, you can look it up. It's Harriman. It's Herriman. That's the name of the school. That's the name of the city. But yeah, if you look up Harriman school greenhouse, I'm sure it'll come up because it was just on there yesterday. All right, bag number 46. I wasn't going to finish this today, but honestly, guys, we only got 3 bags left, and there's not a lot in any one of the bags, and I don't want to do a stream with just 3 bags. I mean, that would be so short. So let's just go ahead and just finish this. Let's just get it done. And this is going to be difficult because the very building is getting in the way of the instructions. You guys can still see me. Yeah, you can still see me. Okay. And I will try to read the comments. The building's kind of getting in the way of the comments now. We all just need to come together and buy a massive piece of property and all live together like one property together as Lego AFL. Well, you know what? If we can make that work, I'd sign up. I'd say sign me up. But my 3 acres won't do. Okay. Oh, well, I'm looking for the wrong piece. That's why it's not working. Got to look for the right pieces. But yeah, dude, we only got, after this, we only have 2 bags. So let's just finish this thing off and call this set good. And then my laptop will be, or my computer will be here today, and I'll be able to set it up. And tomorrow we can start on the Thieves of Tortuga. And I know I've showed it before in the thing, but let me show it to you again. We're going to do this one next. It's kind of like a pirate hideout. It's pretty dang cool. It's got a little 4,000 pieces, 4,002 to be exact. I'm not sure how many minifigures. I haven't gotten that far. But I think the Thieves of Tortuga looks pretty dang sweet. And I'm actually really surprised. It's 12:16 and Spencer ain't here. Of course, he's not obligated to tell me where he's going. He's an adult, but just surprised because he's usually here by now. A-full Amish. They're just trying to pocket that money. I agree. And Will says, I'm great with plumbing and all things construction. I can build whatever I need. Love to have a few farmers as friends. Exactly. Yeah, just have everyone specialize in something different. And like I said, a couple times a year, just trade. I mean, one person could do pigs, another person do cows, that kind of thing, you know. I'm down for all that. I'm great at, and I mentioned the tomatoes and that kind of bell peppers because I grew those in California, and I'm actually pretty good at it. I'm also good at doing beans, growing beans. And I know people say, oh, beans are easy. Well, they can be, but they have their own unique problems. And if you haven't grown them before and you run into those problems, you're not going to know what to do. Well, I've grown them enough. I know what the problems are, and I know how to avoid them. So that's why I say that. The one thing I like about where I live is that we're not humid very often. We're really not. Okay, I just have to place all these little tiles everywhere. So it'll take me a minute. I'll get it done as soon as I can. Let's see. I'm good at construction, so let's get it started. I'm good at electricity. I'm not licensed, but I know what I'm doing. I've rewired a whole entire house before and had it inspected. As a homeowner, you can do that. And well, I don't know if you still can, but you used to be able to do that in Ohio as a homeowner. And you don't have to get it inspected. But I did because it was my first large wiring job. And I passed the inspection first try. I'm happy to tell you that. And I've done plenty of projects since. In fact, when I lived in Layton, I had a brand new home built, but the basement wasn't finished, and I wanted to add some electricity, and you were required to get a permit as a homeowner, and I did. And again, I passed first time on the inspection. So I do know what I'm doing when it comes to residential wiring. Okay, so we have this roof done. So we can put this on here. It slides on here, so it can be a pain, and it is being a pain. Let me see if I can gingerly convince it to cooperate. Oh, lost my camera. Got to plug it in. Yeah, this camera's battery's not. It's not what it used to be. It's okay. Let me. Oh shoot, that was not good. Didn't mean to take the whole thing off. Okay, let's see if we can get this to cooperate. Why is it not? There we go. Okay, we got it on there. Grow our own food and save money for Lego. Yes, right. No need for anything else. We got everything handled. We got all the other things. We're growing everything else. Home industry. We just need money for Lego. Well, I guess my only question is, where are land prices the cheapest out of everywhere all of us live? I know here it's kind of expensive. But I mean, I say expensive, but I don't think it really is, because the guy across the street bought 3 acres for $100,000, so it's about $35,000 an acre. But we have some of the most fertile farmland over here in Idaho. It's fertile because it's if you go down a little bit, it's volcanic rock, and I'm talking about a foot or two. So we got topsoil on top of it, but volcanic areas, or previously volcanic areas, are very fertile. Oh shoot, I didn't do that right. Let's do that right. Well, as a result of my computer breaking, I will not be doing Bricklink orders today. So when I say 24 hours in most cases, today's not going to be one of those cases, because I don't have a printer hooked up to my laptop. I don't know how to, well, I could figure it out, but it's not hooked up to it. And that printer was tough. That printer was tougher than nails getting it hooked up the first time. So I'd rather hook it up to the desktop when it gets here. A full compound cult. Well, as long as none of us declare ourselves a prophet and start sleeping with everyone's wives, I think we'll be okay. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, but thinking of some rather famous cults that have done stuff like that. I love it when somebody says, "I'm a man of God, and God told me it's okay to sleep with your wife," and I'm like, "Really? I can really see God appearing to you and telling you that it's okay to sleep with my wife." Yeah, cool. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that at all. Go ahead. Of course I have a problem with that. That's the most idiotic bullshit I've ever heard. But you know how many people, I mean, seriously, I don't want to name specific cults, but you guys know which ones I'm talking about, like the one in Texas back when Clinton was president. Sorry, I'm just trying to get all these bits and pieces in here. Okay, now I'm lost. Okay, let's see. Okay, I see. Okay, we got that. I think we're almost done with this stage, but oh shoot. Yeah, my camera is going to keep doing that because it's it does that whenever I have to plug it in. It doesn't stay on. Okay, I think we got one more and we're done. Is that right? It looks right to me. Okay, I'm going to forego putting it on here because I remember from the first time I built this, there was an issue with it. So, yeah, I wouldn't drink the Kool-Aid. Sorry, guys. I think I'm good. What was that guy's name? Something Jones, wasn't it? That was so weird. I can't believe people actually in mass drank that. That's just absolutely bananas. Lord help me, I never get to that place because I'll never do that. I'll be looked at as a weird one that won't do it. Okay, I got to close this file real quick because it's bogged down. It always happens when you do this. But then when you open it again, for some reason it starts working. So let's do that. Oh, my son's home. But we've only got a bag and a half left, so we're going to get her done. Hi, Enzo. He perked up because he heard the door opening. Okay, we're on bag 47. All right, 1 second. All right, I'm back, everyone. Oh, boy. Well, this has been a lot longer of a build than I thought it was going to be. But it's been a really good build. I really like this set. Yeah, this is the part that I didn't want to put the roof on because this is kind of, this has a lot of give to it because how weak it is. And they want you to put plates, modified plates right on top of it. And the first time I had trouble getting the plates to stick. They kept popping off because they wouldn't clutch because the plates are flexible. So by leaving that panel off, I'm able to get my thumb underneath it and give it some support. Okay. Okay. Now, I love the building techniques on this because they're going to use black handcuffs as decoration here. And I thought that was a really nice touch to this. So let's get her done. Okay, let's see. Oh, I did that wrong. Let's twist it. Okay, there we go. His name was Jim Jones. That's right. Yeah, he got in some major trouble because didn't a U.S. senator go down there to see what was going on because they went to a foreign country and I can't remember what happened, but that's the reason they drank the Kool-Aid. I think they harmed the senator, might have even killed him. I can't remember, but that was a whacked story. I can't believe they did that. And the fact that the story is so well known that we have a saying in our society now, don't drink the Kool-Aid. That is, wow. Okay. So now, okay. Oh, I need to put this on there now because it won't work if I don't. Because once we put that topper on there, it's done. Okay, now we can put this topper on there. I think that just gives it a really, really good look to it, if you know what I mean. I got 5 sets taken apart and parted out where they go for far today. Starting to see the surface of your table. That is always a good sign. You know, I did some of that last night. In between all the live streaming I did, I pulled out one of my totes. And when I was looking at the totes, I realized that you guys might remember it's an old Batman set. It's the original Batcave with the penguin. Probably 20 years ago or close to it. Anyway, I have a full entire one of the sets, but years ago, and I'm talking like 7-8 years ago, I happened to go to a thrift store, and they sold in like quart-sized bags Legos for like anywhere from $4 to $7. Anyway, I was there and I noticed, hey, they've got part of this Batman cave in there, and it was in sealed bags, but there were several. The bags were spread among several of these gallon or quart-sized bags. And anyway, I was able to pick up almost the entire thing. It was a little bit missing, but I was able to pick it up for like $40, $42, which is dang cheap. And anyway, it sat in those bags for years and years and years until last night. I finally decided to do something about it, and I parted it out. Okay, here we go. Here's a gargoyle brick built. Really nice touch. And I think we are on the last bag. Pretty sure we are. I'm just really impressed with this set. I'm impressed with how Lego did this. And of course, I know Lego didn't actually do it. It was a fan submitted idea, but the building techniques in this are just absolutely amazing. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about as soon as I'm done here, how amazing this part is, because this part, it moves with the set as you open it, and it keeps this one opening closed the whole entire time. So it looks super sweet. So anyway, let's just get it built. Oh, wrong one. Let's put the right pieces in here, shall we? Oh. You pulled it right out, hon. Oh. I gotta watch what I say with this group. I forgot. Just kidding. But I did not forget. That's kind of what I like about this group. See, someone will start a joke, and by the time it runs through the chat, we've got about 10 different punchlines for the same joke. I like that. God bless you there, Enzo. Oh shoot, this was tough the first time too, because you had to get it all to line up. But it does something really cool once it does line up. So let's get it put on there. How does this go? I don't remember. Did I do that wrong? Sure the hell hope not. Did I do it wrong? Oh, no. I forgot a piece. Let's fix that up. Okay. Okay, how does this go? Okay, it looks like I did something wrong. Let me go back, rewind here. No, I did not. That is all there. Maybe I have it upside down. We'll have to double check here. Yes, I do have it upside down. Okay. Then that explains it right there. So as soon as I'm done, like I said, I'm going to flip this around so you guys can see the beauty of this design. All right. Let's make sure we got this on there correctly. Yes, we do. And oh gosh, this is black on black. I cannot see it worth a crud, dude. Okay, so let's show you this right here. Okay, so if I turn this around, first of all, you don't break stuff. You just turn it around. Keep your eyes on this right here, this little lattice work. When you close it, it moves, and it moves with grace and style to the point where when it's fully closed and I grab a spot that's not going to fall apart, it actually fits snugly right here to close that opening. And then when you open it, it does the opposite. It also covers the opening exactly. So really cool piece of German or Danish engineering there. Okay, so let's finish up here. We've got about maybe 40 pieces to go, if even that. So let's just get her done. Okay, we got to build a tree. And actually, really lame joke that my dad used to like to tell me in the 10th grade. I remember it because you'll know in a minute. My dad used to say, "What did the acorn say when he grew up?" And the answer is geometry. And that's why I was taking geometry in 10th grade. And yeah, I spoke to my dad this morning, so. Oh, okay. I was like wondering what changed. I couldn't see it. There you go. Yeah, we just got a little bit of foliage here, guys, and we're done. Your Lego order will be here tomorrow. Awesome, dude. Awesome. What you getting? What are you anticipating arriving in the mail tomorrow? All right, we've got one last piece of the tree here to put together. Oh, I did it wrong. Oops. Let's fix her up. God, I can't even get this. Okay, there we go. All right. So where does this go? I forget. Oh, it goes on. Well, that did not like going there because it just fell off. I'll have to put that back on there quick. This set is so hard to keep together. And just like that, we have the final piece on this monstrosity of a beautiful set. My goodness, I love this set, guys. This was an expensive set, but in my opinion, well worth the money. And I mean well worth the money. All the moving parts, the coffin part is the best. I love the fact that the coffin actually works. That is so sweet. You got the trap door. You got so much. If you want to see the full review, I did do a video on that. Please go watch it. Also, if you want to see this built a lot faster than 6 live streams, I did do a time-lapse build too. But I'm going to turn this one. I'm going to show you this one part that is absolutely, in my opinion, breathtaking. And it's this section right here and this large turret. They just did a really good job on all of this. And the brick built gargoyle up here is just freaking awesome right here. So really good set. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Remember, tomorrow we're going to start the next set, which is the Thieves of Tortuga, which is a pirate hideout. And we are going to compare it when we're done to the medieval seaside market, because it's kind of like the Thieves of Tortuga are for the bad guys, and the medieval seaside market is kind of similar, but it's for the good guys. All right, guys, drop a like if you would, and I would have got it had it been a set on shelves, but with limited buying window. Oh, yeah, I know, I understand. I honestly probably shouldn't have bought this one. Didn't have the money at the time. I was counting on future sales to cover it by the time it got here. So it's kind of crazy for me to do that, but I did. All right, guys, be good to each other. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you on the next one.